Here's my dilemma. Do I postpone my wedding and give us a shot to work this out, or do I run for the hills? I'm wondering if I'm completely missing his perspective on all of this. My fiancé, 40 meters, and I, 30F, have been together for 9ish years. A year or two through our relationship we spent some apart as I felt he had an inappropriate relationship with a coworker, both realtors. We ended up getting back together, but he continued to sleep with her during the first few months of us trying to work things out. We did work things out. The infidelity isn't as big of an issue for me as it is for other people. I quickly felt trust with him again, and things were great. The issue of the affair has rarely come up since we talked through our resolution years ago. 6ish years later we got engaged. Almost a year after that, his mistress died. Excuse my cold tone with this, but **TOME***. She is not a good person and I will never see her in that light. I found out she had a fetish for taken men and she played a big role in the end of 4 others' marriages. My fiancé went to the funeral and spoke, at her parents' request, despite my expressing how hurtful and disrespectful that was in my eyes. In the months following her death he has participated in fundraising, held in honor of this woman. I have continued to express how hurtful and disrespectful I find his involvement in all of this. I'm capable of, and have, moving on and forgiving him for the original affair, but when he keeps doing things that bring it to the forefront of our relationship I can't help but to feel hurt by it. There is a messy history after all. I feel like I have sacrificed so much, sat back and been the one to bend and compromise on everything surrounding her and these situations, and I can't see anything that he's compromised on when it comes to it. All I see is an inappropriate and disrespectful emotional connection to his dead mistress. There was a small fundraising dinner in her honor the other night and this is where things really hit the fan. I again expressed my feelings on the situation, especially since he didn't tell me until an hour before he was going to leave to attend. He said I need to get over the affair and stop holding it over his head, and I need to figure my stuff out. He wishes I could see his perspective, because I wouldn't be upset if I stepped back and saw his side of things, yet he couldn't articulate his perspective. He also said he was sick of my meritless threats after I said, if he is going to continue to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his dead mistress and bring it to the forefront of our lives together, that I couldn't live the rest of my life like that. He said he has the right to honor a good friend and that she always had his back, even after he chose me. This has really caught me off guard the past year. I thought there was no connection to her anymore. I also thought I had a partner that would care enough about my feelings to be willing to change some of their actions. I know I would feel awful if he came to me and said that something I was doing was hurtful to him and he found it disrespectful. I'm getting none of that from him. He cares more about honoring her memory than your reasonable feelings. I'm guessing if you look back on how he emotionally and otherwise supports and cares for you, you will find that he always puts himself first and does very little for you. That's not the person you want to build a life with. I also think any trust you have in him remaining faithful to you is misplaced. I'm really starting to see the lack of support masked by the years of him saying I always put you before me and whatnot. Thank you for helping me to validate my thought process. He also said he was sick of my meritless threats after I said, if he is going to continue to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his dead mistress and bring it to the forefront of our lives together, that I couldn't live the rest of my life like that. You heard the man. Stop bluffing and divorce him. This is some of the most disrespectful I've ever heard in my life, and you have repeatedly communicated that to him very clearly. In response he told you he doesn't give a and that he doesn't think you have the backbone to leave him. Prove his wrong. Dickbag isn't even her husband, just her fiancé. The best time to leave him was when Op learned about his affair. The second best time is today. He's showing through his words and actions that he doesn't respect her. Just rip the band-aid off and move on. Better now than in 10 years, when they might have kids and a more solidly entwined life that would be much more difficult to disentangle. Don't marry him. Just break up. He's selfish. He wants you to see his perspective, but wants you to get over what is a major situation in your life. Nothing good for you in the future with him. He might even cheat again when or if he ever gets over his mistress. Prioritize yourself. He's not getting lots of, and I'd do it all again vibes. He didn't choose op while they were together, didn't choose her while sleeping with the app during their reconciliation, and certainly isn't choosing her now while invalidating her feelings and the obvious damn effort she put in to keep their relationship together. This 40-year-old teenager can F*** right off. Wow, maybe you should been more hurt by the affair. Your fiancé sucks. He didn't respect you when he cheated, and he doesn't now. He didn't tell you until an hour before he was going to a fundraising dinner for her, and she's a serial home wrecker. That's the woman your fiancé loves. Even when she's dead, she's wrecking your home. Your fiancé sucks. You deserve better. That's the woman your fiancé loves is so crummy to hear, but I immediately don't disagree with that statement. Thank you. He spoke at her funeral? Girl. Right. I felt like it had to be fake based on that, but at parents' request. I'm wondering if Op was actually the side piece all this time. Poor thing. Why are you with this man at all? He will cheat. When he finds his next mistress, he does not respect you at all. I don't think Op respects Op either. I think once you get to the point where a man mocks you for not following through on leaving him, it's kinda just done. Like, what on earth do you do with that? I have a certain amount of sympathy for a human being whose friend, however loaded that word is, in this situation, has died. Of course it's wrenching. He's allowed to be sad. But in this specific situation, the phrase having it both ways really does spring to mind. If you're too sexually incontinent to be faithful to a reconciling partner, at least have the good grace to grieve privately and not rub that partner's nose in your love for your mistress. So her parents asked him to speak. Are they socially clueless as well? He could have said no. He could have quietly ordered some lovely flowers. There are any number of ways he could have contributed to her funeral without hurting you like this. Talk about main character syndrome. Let him go. I doubt her parents knew he was engaged to someone else, but this is past done. If it isn't, it should be. What the F*** are you doing? Girl, he had a whole relationship with this woman. How did he know her parents? Why after 6 years is he still a huge person in her life, enough to speak at her funeral? I know this sucks, but I think he has been with her the entire time. I think she was his actual GF, not the mistress. That was Opus. I have to ask, are you sure you weren't the other woman in this scenario? It may have started out with you as the primary relationship, but wow, your acceptance of his cheating made you the side chick. And now you are the side chick to a dead woman. The fact that her family, the mistresses, asked him to speak at their daughter's funeral tells me everything I need to know. It shows he had a full-on relationship with them. He's now also organizing / taking part in fundraisers in her honor. To me, it sounds like Op might have been the other woman and now he's just stuck with her because the woman he actually loves is dead. Is this man front and center with the grieving people around the dead mistress? Is he enjoying the attention? Yes. Surely he doesn't love you. Leave his cheating ass. He has shown that he respects a dead woman more than he will ever respect you. As harsh as that sounds, it's the truth. You're only 30, you're still young. Do you really want to be tied down to a man who will sooner or later find himself another mistress? I need you to leave his and don't give the ring back. Sell it. He has shown he never respected you. For your own sake, do not marry him. That's like asking him to cheat on you for the rest of your life. Don't waste your time on a man that is in love with a dead homewrecker. You stick around, and I promise you he will probably start comparing you to her and put you down while uplifting her. Do not marry him. Hard no. Time for you to walk away. No more chances. No discussion. He has zero respect for you. You need to respect yourself. What are you doing? Surely this can't be real. I'm gonna assume this is just for the karma because it's so outlandish. Oh, it's real. And it's really ending. What is wrong with you? Get therapy. Why would you want to marry a guy with a mistress that he clearly loves and cares about more than you? Get help and get an actual life without him. I'm surprised this has so many upvotes. This is really mean-spirited and harsh. It's interesting you have so much anger and revolt to the dead mistress much more than your fiancé. He cheated on you. He continued to cheat on you. He is taking advantage of you. He cares more about his mistress dead or alive than you. You are letting this happen. You are standing by, hoping he will change. You are holding on to something dead, just as he is. He's just holding on to a dead person. You are holding on to a dead relationship. But infidelity wasn't that important to you. This is a prime example of a toxic relationship. It's time to call the time of death. This relationship is more dead than the mistress. LMAO. Run. This isn't really debatable. You are being compared to a dead what if who can never disappoint him, who he lied to you to be with. Why does she need so much fundraising in her honor? He will do as much as you allow him to do, and treat you the way you let him treat you. He keeps calling your bluff, and he keeps winning, because your threats are empty. Leave him. There's no future with a guy who doesn't care for you or your feelings. Exactly, who is this woman? I'm so curious. And I'm curious if Op is actually the side piece. I say all the time, people often mistake forgiveness for acceptance. And in this case, you did accept that. You forgave the cheating, and then accepted that he was continuing to sleep with her while you worked things out. That's a hard thing to walk back. You're saying I accepted this intimate relationship, but I don't accept this dinner. That's why he's saying your threats are meritless. You might not like it, but what are you actually going to do? Are you going to leave him for going to a benefit dinner after you stayed with him while he slept with both of you? You need to actually leave, or let this one go too. You've talked yourself into a corner where only actions can back up your words. For anyone that doesn't want to read all the text, it's another situation where the woman forgives a cheating man and then is shocked he still does whatever he wants and doesn't care about her feelings, although kind of an interesting twist in that the mistress is past. I'm a fan of the twist. Spiced things up a bit. Still complete obvious bullshit rager bait for attention or karma, but at least it's a kind of unique play on the tired trope this sub has been getting barraged with this week. It sounds like you're the mistress here. I would not marry this man. I said if he is going to continue to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his dead mistress and bring it to the forefront of our lives together, that I couldn't live the rest of my life like that. He has made it perfectly 100% clear that he is going to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his dead mistress. If you don't want to spend the rest of your life like this, then you have to leave. It's that simple. I also thought I had a partner that would care enough about my feelings to be willing to change some of their actions. Yeah, your serially cheater of a boyfriend really cares about your feelings. You're an enabler. I agree with you, but if they first got together when Op was 21 and he was 30, she was barely an adult when he'd had some time to experience life and get his **** together. She might be an enabler, but I also don't think it's that simple when she's likely been exploited and manipulated for a while. She definition needs to leave yesterday though. Other here have expressed very well that he clearly doesn't care about you. I have just two observations that I didn't see here before and would like to add them. Her parents asked him to speak at the funeral. Why? Why do they know him? And why do they feel like he was so significant in her life that he should speak at her funeral? What I'm actually asking is this: are you sure they weren't together? Because it sounds like they were, and his parents knew. I also find it interesting that you label her not a good person for being a willing mistress, which I don't disagree with, don't get me wrong. But if one part of the affair is not a good person, why is the other part, and the one that is actually betraying the partner, a good person? Yep. There's no way she didn't spend the majority of their relationship as the side piece, and still is. You're getting jealous and upset over a dead woman. You're literally competing with a ghost. You need to really take a good look inside yourself and figure out why you are even entertaining this trash man and the way he is treating you. He should have been dead to you the moment he cheated. Let them both be ghosts. He's not having an affair with a dead woman. He's in love with one. Unless you want to play second fiddle to a corpse for the rest of your life, I would suggest leaving him and finding someone who actually loves you. At this point you're just a stand-in. On one hand you say infidelity doesn't bother, on the other hand you blame her for having a fetish for married men, saying she's not a good person because of that. Why do you care if his infidelity didn't bother you? You keep giving him ultimatums and not following through with them, so what do you want? He doesn't care. He cheated on you while working things out and you chose to forgive him. He's telling you that he doesn't give a flying F asterisk 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 about your feelings, and that can't be news to you. Again, your choice. I can't feel bad for you because you're deliberately choosing to stay with this jerk of a man. Make a decision or slash and stop bringing that up to him. He chose you. I thought it was you forgave him. Why is a cheater the prize to be had? If you two never went to counseling, you probably should. If you want to save this, definitely don't marry him until he has a proper respect for accepting your feelings. Though my guess is he can't do this. If he's never begged for your forgiveness, showed you true remorse, how can he expect you to feel differently than you do about this? Also, forgiveness is not the same thing as forgetting. You don't have to forget what he did. Do not marry this man. Dear Lord. I'm trying to say this with kindness. You need to respect yourself more. This man had multiple affairs, fell in love with the women he was fucking behind your back, spoke at their funeral. At what point will he choose you? Or are you just his guaranteed fallback?